Let's talk about some meteorite impact craters and lakes. In Canada, this one is in northern Quebec, Pigolo crater meteorite impact, 2 miles diameter. It took place from what they believe 1 million years ago during the Pleistocene era in northern Quebec, Canada. This is a Landsat image of that crater. Beautifully round, huge. It has one species of fish in it. And then there's this beautiful lake, Beaver Lake, on top of Montreal in Quebec, in Montreal. This is a beautiful lake. Of course, it was constructed in a way that it looks like a four-leaf clover. It was somehow modified in its borders. This is not an impact crater, even though a lot of people at the time I was growing up in Montreal believed that it was an impact crater. Maybe it was wishful thinking on their part, but it was not an impact crater, later found out. And this is the chalet where people used to have coffee and ice cream. And this lake was beautiful. I remember going bicycle riding around this lake as my mother was sipping her coffee and knitting on the balcony up here, while my sister and I were running around with our bicycles. It was a beautiful place. The mounted police have their stables for their horses nearby there. Also, this is a skating rink that used to take place. They stopped this and they made a special skating rink somewhere else so that people would not have the risk of falling through the ice into the lake in the event of the ice breaking. So they have another place where people could go skating instead of the lake. And it's a beautiful place even for children to go tobogganing, as we used to do as well in the winter. You have to do a lot of winter sports in order to get your vitamin D from the sun, even though a lot of girls in Montreal are very pale looking with dark circles under their eyes because they really don't get enough sun. So yes, this is another topic we have to get into, the huge number of impact craters that we have in northern Canada. I didn't know there was that many until I recently did, well actually today, that I posted up, and you'll find a video concerning the similarities of the Ceres impact craters with those on Earth, and also the Ceres volcanic uplifts as compared to the images of volcanic uplifts on Earth. So this is how I got to know that all of northern Canada basically has been pounded by meteorites. And just by whisking through various sites, I've noticed that it's not just meteorites that have hit us, but also asteroids, usually from the southern part of our planet, the southern hemisphere. But that's another topic that I have to research, and we'll upload videos on that as well. I just wanted to share with you the beauty that we have around us. This is one of the things that I had around me growing up, and at that time, of course, I just took it for granted. But it was one of the most beautiful places that we could visit, so close to our home there. And this was, of course, Beaver Lake. They call it Beaver Lake because as they were fixing this area to make it a family place to visit and have picnics and just spend a beautiful day, they found that it was a beaver. They had a beaver trap there. Somehow there was a blockage from beavers damming up some kind of a little lake that they had. That's why they called it Beaver Lake. And they constructed it nicely in the shape of a four-leaf clover, as we said. The chalet was built there around 1961, and it was renovated, I think, just about a couple of years ago. And just a beautiful place to visit. On the top of Montreal, on the top overlooking the city of Montreal, and on top there is a huge white concrete cross. Montreal, Mont Royal, meaning the royal, the royal and the kingly mountain of God, Jesus Christ. And at night, that cross, that white cement cross, it's a reinforced concrete cross painted white, is lit up by light. And everywhere you are in Montreal, you can see that mountain and you can see that cross. And it's a fantastic way to fortify your faith, because wherever you are, basically if you're around that area downtown, you can see the cross, and it's just very lovely. Plus the fact that a lot of streets in Montreal have the names of saints, St. Catherine being one of the major streets in Montreal. So I just wanted to share that with you. Hopefully you have beautiful places around you that you can visit. Take some time and have a refreshment, a little picnic, or just sit and read a book around there in the fresh water, the fresh air, and the beautiful surroundings. And I just wanted to share that with you. There's something else that I forgot to tell you that we used to do here. Okay, we used to go on summer camp with the YMCA 8 hours a day because my parents were working. My sister and I would go to the YMCA, and we had a fantastic time. We used to go swimming in the various lakes north of Montreal. We used to do various scavenger hunts. At this point in time, one day we did a scavenger hunt right around Beaver Lake and the mountains and the forests of that area. And we started in the morning, and it was the girls against the boys. And we would have to go from point A to point B to point C to point D, so on. And we would find our next clue at each point that we would reach. We'd get a next clue, and the clue would tell us where to go. And the first person of the groups to get to the top at the end would win a fantastic prize. So it was basically the girls against the boys. What happened to us was that at one point in time, we were following our clues. We were doing very well. And my sister and I ended up going towards the slope of the mountain. And we were just following the clues, and we were in danger of losing our lives because we were almost falling down the mountain. And it was very bad. And the girls that were in our group had to call for help from the Mounties. There was no way we could get up the mountain, and we were stuck holding on to tree trunks so that we would not fall and kill ourselves off the cliffs. And the Mounties came. I remember one Mountie took my sister. Okay, she had her experience. And the other Mountie came to take me. And I was a very, girls in Canada, they eat very well. We're tall and we're very, husky. Let's put that. We're well built because, we withstand the winter in Canada. We've got to. We can't be frail and delicate, All right, so we eat our bacon and eggs every morning, okay, and our muffins. Yes, we do. No diets in Canada. And this Mountie, like this young man, would come to me. I don't know, for the life of me, I will never forget that experience. He came to where I was. I don't know how he made it down to where I was, didn't kill himself. And he took me by my waist, just grabbed me like that, and he hoisted me onto his hip, and he carried me up the slope of the mountain. For the life of me, and it was like nothing to him. It didn't faze him. It just did not faze him. And I was like saying, oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. At my tender age of, what was I, 10 years old, 11 years old? I'm going to die. I'm going to die. And what happened was that the boys had reached the various positions before us, and they would write fake clues for us, leave them from one point to the other, so that we would go elsewhere. All right? And we did. We were following these clues thinking that we were there first. Otherwise, the clues would be removed. Okay? But they didn't remove the clues. They left other clues for us to go elsewhere so that we would be delayed. But in fact, we were risking losing our lives. And the boys got up there first, of course. The girls lost. And our supervisor found out what happened. And it was just a terrible experience. Of course, the boys It was a Pyrrhian victory for them. It was it was a nullified victory because we would have gotten there first, and we had this terrible experience, and thank goodness the Mounties were the people. Their formal name is the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and they do excellent job. I think they're about 100 years old now, at least. And they go, and they're experienced to help those in need. And they did help us. That was my personal experience in this area of Beaver Lake on the mountain of Montreal in Montreal, Canada, where I had finished my high school. And after that, we went to the United States, to New York for college, and we stayed there after that. So that was my experience. And so you guys be careful next time you send your children on scavenger hunts, because, okay, that happens, All's fair in love and war, as they say. Okay, so I just wanted to share that experience with you as well. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you soon. God bless you. And I'm sorry if I bored you, if I went on a tangent. We started with volcanic craters, and we ended up with the Mounties by way of Beaver Lake. Sorry, but it was just too big of a resist. I just couldn't resist. I had to tell you. Sometimes girls are so simple-minded and stupid. They have no idea what boys can come up with. But boys will be boys, and girls don't have. It's the Mars and Venus thing. All right. Thank you for listening. Kindly support by contributing to my Patreon account. You'll find it in the description box below. Thank you.